So what's the nicest city to live in the state of Oregon? Well, I think that depends a little bit on how you define the nicest city, right? Do you mean the cleanest city? Or do you mean what a lot of people ask me, which is, hey Dave, where do the rich people live? Well, we've talked about the Pearl District in Portland, but that's more for condo living. But where do the people live who want to live on, say, a lake in multi-million-dollar houses? Where's there a lot of upscale shopping? Where is there a beautiful downtown community, a feeling of community where people come together in a certain area and go to this place that's clean, filled with parks, has lots of shops, and has a combination of being quaint while having luxurious homes? And that's often followed by, hey Dave, where do the highest earners in Oregon live? Meaning the people who make the most money, right? Where do the trailblazers live? Well, that's what this video is going to be about today, because we are in what I think is one of the absolute most beautiful cities in the state of Oregon. It's close enough to Southwest Washington, in case you want to work up there and live down here. And it offers beautiful homes, a beautiful shopping area. It's super clean. I feel super safe when I'm walking around, and it's not too far from the major city. Do you know where I am? Well, that is Lake Oswego, Oregon. I love coming down here. I love going shopping. I love just walking around the beautiful lake. And in this video, I'm going to take you through the downtown area of Lake Oswego, which is a quaint and beautiful, beautiful city. And I think you are going to fall in love with it. If you've never been here, this video is for you, because we are going to talk all about living here in Lake Oswego, Oregon. Are you ready for some excitement on this gorgeous and gray Pacific Northwest winter day? Well, then you know what to do. You sit down, you buckle up, and get ready, because here we go. Hello everyone, it's your host here, Dave Baker from your Living in Washington and Living in Oregon teams. Now, if it's your first time on the channel, just a quick note about what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to tap that little subscribe button and click that little bell so you will be notified every time I put out a new video all about living in Oregon, living in Washington, particularly incredible Southwest Washington. And then you will be able to keep watching and learning more for when you are ready to make the move to come up here. But hey, what if you're already ready to make the move? No problem. It's super easy. We've got this down pat to help you get the ball rolling on your move. All you have to do, send me an email, send me a text message, or give me a call on the phone, okay? The team absolutely loves helping people come up here or down here, if you're coming from the north, to Oregon, Washington, and all of the cities that we talk about in the videos, and the cities that are close by. So make sure that you reach out. Okay, now, let's get started here from Lake Oswego. Obviously, I had to start with the lake behind me. Hopefully you can see it in the picture. It's a little bit of a Northwest style day, but I am down at what I like to call the downtown Lake Oswego area. It's where you have the shopping center. It's where you have community events, where you have statues, right? Look at the statues, by the way. I love this. I love when a community does this. There's another one over here. We'll try to walk by that too. This area is so beautiful. That's why I wanted to start by walking around here so you can see what it's like. It's very different than Vancouver, Washington. It's very different than Dundee, Oregon. It's very different than Portland. Lake Oswego is not Portland, okay? I want to say that right off the bat, because people always ask me, is every city in Oregon just like Portland? And the answer is no, it is not. Okay, so being the holidays, they've got some decorations out. So before we get started, let's just take a little look-see around here. We've got some cool holiday lights going on over there. You see the snowman over here. The reindeer are out. Of course, I wanted to make you a video when you could see it all lit up, but I also needed to be in the video, and there's just not enough light that I can carry with me as we walk around on the tour. So let's talk a little bit about Lake Oswego as we walk through this area here. I just wanted to show you this, some of the cool holiday stuff. No one's out right now because it's early in the day, and while it's a great time to make videos, also it's a little bit chilly and it's not the nighttime or later in the afternoon. Okay, So first of all, let's get some basic facts established. Where is Lake Oswego, Oregon? Lake Oswego, Oregon is located about 8 miles south of Portland, Oregon. But in my opinion, it's a world away, okay? The politics of Lake Oswego and the politics and things that are going on in Portland are not the same, okay? While certain, Oregonians may share many similar values and, we're all united in many different things, what's going on in Lake Oswego is not like what's going on in Portland. And I think that draws a lot of people here. And when you see the houses, you'll also know why. But, okay, so it's about 8 miles south. You can take several different routes to get to Lake Oswego. It is freeway accessible depending on which part of the city you're going into. The city has a population of about 40,000 people based on the data that I have read. Obviously, that's always changing, and when you're thinking about population, always consider that numbers fluctuate because people move in and out, and the census is only taken every so many years, so always consider that. But it is not a huge city, although it offers so much. There's the town tree. I love when cities have some kind of town events like this. I love that feeling of community, and that's something I think that people get here. Some nicknames for Lake Oswego, of course, are Lake O or LO. I have a friend who always tells me how he works in LO. So this is a well-established city. This is not a brand new place. Originally, the town was formed in the 1800s, and then it was incorporated somewhere around 1910. So it's been here for a long time. But what you're seeing as we walk around in this shopping center is a lot of newer buildings. Now, Lake Oswego is famous for having higher value homes. You're going to have what I like to call upper tier or upper echelon pricing on the homes. This is probably not the place where you come to find a house that costs a few $100,000. If you do, well, that'd be a very unique situation. But you have a lot of homes here that are over $1 million. You have a lot of homes that are multi-million dollars. You have opportunities here for lakefront property, meaning that you could live on Lake Oswego, and the lake is divided into several different places. When you look at the map, you can see how there's a smaller section of the lake, a northern section, southern section. It's very interesting. I like to sometimes think of this as the Beverly Hills of Oregon, okay? Or the Newport Beach of Oregon, or the Lower East Side of Oregon if you're a New Yorker thinking about moving here to Oregon. I consider this one of the most luxurious and exclusive places to live in the state. Now, the city is fairly large in the sense of the geography because, like I said, you can access it from the freeway, but you can also access it from Macadam Boulevard if you continue to head down when you're driving in Portland. So when you're looking at a map, you're going to want to travel south. You have multiple shopping centers. This is not the only place to live, okay, or the only place to shop, if you will. For example, this is just one neighborhood. Sometimes when you think of a smaller city with certain population or certain geography, you think, well, there's only one place to go, one downtown, one little place to go. But this is one of the most well-known places right off of First Avenue, where you have all of the famous things from Portland are also located here, right? You've got Bamboo Sushi, you've got Salt and Straw, one of the best ice cream places I've ever been. And if you want my recommendations on my favorite flavors, drop a comment below. I will throw that in there. People have asked me about that. You do have a lot of the famous well-known restaurants from Portland have come here, but they also have their own local places like Oswego Grill and so many other places. Interestingly, you have an ice cream shop competitor, which was here originally, over there with the blue awning. That was here before Salt and Straw. I was shocked when Salt and Straw opened, and then you had that competitor over there. But let's just take a walk up and down the street so you can see this neighborhood. This neighborhood is just one area here in Lake Oswego. The closest walkable neighborhood when you're looking at the map, I think, is the First Edition neighborhood. First Edition is where you see the streets have letters on them, like A, B, C, D, things of that nature. And then, of course, you have the numbered streets here. Like we'll have First Avenue, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. If you are interested in walkability, which you probably know I'm a fan of, then living in the First Edition neighborhood might be the place that you want to go. If you want to walk to coffee shops, you want to have ice cream, restaurants, the shopping center, all these cool things right here, and you want to live in a little bit more modern area, this is the neighborhood. I'm going to talk about the different neighborhoods in the second video. But for now, I just wanted to give you an idea of what this area does look like. Since I am talking about First Edition, again, I do want to mention that the First Edition neighborhood does have newer homes in it. You have some newer construction. Because the city's been established for so long, we also have many older homes here, right? It's not a new city. As I mentioned, it's been around since the 1900s, officially as Lake Oswego. So the reason I bring that up is because I've been talking to some people, including some people who actually live in Portland and other places, and they bring up to me that there are so many older homes and they're concerned about that. I understand. I personally am not the person who wants to do heavy remodeling. I don't want to have to gut a house. I don't want to have to remodel and add new rooms and make changes and have to deal with all of the construction issues. That's not for everybody. I totally understand. So if you are looking for a newer home, when you reach out to us, send me an email or text message, let me know that's something that you are thinking about, that you want a home that's already done for you. Now, Lake Oswego, being a higher end city, you don't have some of the same issues that you do in places like Portland. Not to say that Portland doesn't have luxurious neighborhoods like the Pearl District, like the Alphabet District and things like that. But something you don't see here is you don't see homeless people. I come here all the time, and I'm here again today, and I haven't seen any tents or anything of that nature. That's something you do see in Portland. It is different. It's also something you see in Vancouver, okay? I want to mention that. If you're watching the channel because you love Vancouver, and that's how you got started on the channel, that is something that does exist there, although Portland is most famous for having this situation that they're dealing with. The other thing I've really noticed about Lake Oswego is they've really built up this area. This area that I'm mentioning, of course, we're walking along A Avenue. We're up to 3rd Street now. We started down on 1st. They've really built this up. You've got the new City Hall. You've got the new, the shopping center has been expanded. They have put apartments down there too, but it's just really expanded. Behind me, I don't know if you can see, there's another new building right over here, right over there. They've also added some luxurious condos and townhomes. Now, I've noticed that some of them are 3 stories, so that's not for everybody, but they're pretty luxurious. But again, they are over $1 million. So even the condos and townhomes are over $1 million. That's not to say that you won't have opportunities to find things in different price ranges, but I just wanted to mention that because that just gives you a reference point. I've actually been looking at places all over the country just for fun, from Louisville, Kentucky to Alaska, just to get a feel for these other places. And I have to tell you, it's so interesting how much condos and townhomes cost in this part of Oregon. Now, condo and townhome living isn't for everybody, so it is for a lot of people though, and I know why. Another thing you have in Lake Oswego is you have some higher end supermarkets, right? You don't just have Safeway, which is what I would call a more common market here in the Northwest. You also have things like Zupans, which is kind of a competitor of a Whole Foods, but it's a local market. They have a very interesting selection of foods that are certainly more luxurious. And that's something you see in a place like this. You're going to see those types of stores. Now, as I mentioned, this video is kind of about showing you this neighborhood around the downtown area, but there are certainly other areas with a lot of commerce. Looks like we've got some more townhomes over here, by the way. We're gonna head down this hill just so we can get some exercise together as I make this video. But this neighborhood is probably what I would call more of the original downtown. You have a major shopping center on the other side of the city, Bridgeport Village, and you also have a whole area on the other side of the city. I'm going to try to make you a video for that too, where they have highly remodeled the streets, and you've got just a lot of new stores there, and you brought a lot of the famous Portland restaurants down there. I was just down there. You have those famous restaurants like Grassa with delicious handmade pasta. It's so good. Again, if you want my recommendations on the food, drop a comment, send me an email. I'll tell you some of my favorite foods over there. But you've got all those things. So if you're thinking, oh, you wanted to live in Portland, because you wanted some of the food, the options, entertainment. You do have that here in Lake Oswego. But since they've remodeled some of the major streets in the city, it's incredible. It looks so good. I was just there last night getting some dinner, and they put in some new shopping centers and things like that. So you have a lot of activity here. You could live in Lake Oswego and not even have to leave and still have places to go out, have some fun, have date night, take out the kids, take out the family. And speaking of family and kids and those things, I would say this is a great city for families, for people with children. You have a lot of great outdoor activity here. So let's talk about that for a second. In terms of outdoor activities, first of all, you have beaches along the Willamette River. I believe my favorite one is probably Will Rogers Beach, and I'm gonna double check the name. I know it has Rogers in it. All of a sudden I keep thinking of the name Will Rogers. That's a famous name. Somehow I feel like it's George Rogers. It's not, ironically, I was just there in the summer. You have beaches on the river, okay? The beaches are actually really nice. You see kids and families playing down there. I spent some time down there. My friend came out from Idaho. My wife and I went down there with him. They brought the kids. They had so much fun. You can go in the water. You can enjoy that stuff. So that's one thing. Additionally, something else you have is, the outdoors, right? We have Terwilliger Park. You have Tryon State Park. You obviously in Portland have Forest Park. You have so many options for outdoor activities here. It is like mind-boggling. You can instantly find a place to go hiking. You can go on the river. Probably won't do that in the winter, but you could. If you want to go stand-up paddleboarding or something, I hope you have a wetsuit, but you can definitely do that stuff in the summer and really enjoy it. The other thing is you have bike paths, you have trails, you have all that type of stuff. And during the holidays, by the way, I feel like there's such a good sense of community. They had a tree lighting, which was good for families, kids, and I have to turn the camera on for a second. This evergreen tree behind us here, they put lights. I don't know if you can see them in the video. They put lights in the tree. Oh, there it is. Look at that. I think that's so nice when they do stuff like that. So we're going back up the hill, by the way. But here's the thing. If you do have kids and you want a feeling of community, you want family activities, you want things of that nature, you have that stuff here. They have community events in the newsletter. And by the way, if you're looking to know a little bit about what's going on in the various neighborhoods in Oregon or in Washington, make sure you go to the webpage, gotnorthwest.com, click subscribe to the newsletter, and there you can choose your Oregon or Washington or both newsletters. And you'll be able to get some information about things going on. It's very, very, very interesting. Now, this question of where to live with the family is something that comes up a lot. For example, I've heard people say they want to live in a nice neighborhood, they want a modern property, which I definitely understand, but they want to be somewhere where kids have some space to play and places to go. So sometimes people are comparing the Pearl District of Portland, Oregon, and they're comparing that to here in Lake Oswego. And I understand why. So if you are considering family issues, family matters, so to speak, not issues, but where to live, Lake Oswego might be on the top of your list. Now, I just wanted to kind of give this video as an introduction to living in Lake Oswego. In the next video, we're going to talk even more about the houses. I'm going to show you some of the different houses in First Edition, on the other side of the lake, some of the houses on Lower and Upper Drive. We're going to drive by some golf courses. There are some golf clubs out here, really beautiful. I could live here. I think it's great here. It's so nice, so clean. There's so many places to walk. One thing I will mention is not every neighborhood has sidewalks. I do want to mention that. That comes up as well. For example, if you're a bicyclist, which many Oregonians are, the passion for bicycles out here is incredible. Not every place has sidewalks. I do want to mention that. And also if you have kids, that might be an issue. But there are certainly neighborhoods that do. I'm obviously walking on a sidewalk. But I'm very excited to show you more of Lake Oswego. So if you want to see more, if you want to learn more, first, you're probably already subscribed to the channel, but why don't you just double check? Just look down there, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you click that notification bell. And if you're already thinking about moving out here, just after this video, or you've already been planning it and you've been watching the other videos, make sure you reach out to me. The team, seriously, super excited. This is their passion. They want to help you with your move. So all you have to do is send me an email, send me a text message, give me a call on the phone. The team will get the ball rolling. We'll go over like what you want. You know, tell us some information, like what are you looking for and where you live? Do you have a specific home or condo style in mind? Do you have a location in mind? Are you moving for work? Let us know a little bit about your situation, and then they can help fine-tune what you're looking for. Before we take off in this video, by the way, look at the new City Hall. Wow, that's nice. Something I love about the Northwest is that we have a lot of wood. Now, even though you have kind of this metal style on the outside, I'm not officially sure it's metal, it just looks like that. They still maintain the wood as well, and they bring that in and integrate it. It's really something nice here. I have this style that I call Pacific Northwest Modern that you see in homes, and I don't know if that's the official name. There's so many styles for homes. There's modern prairie, there's contemporary, there's just so many styles, mid-century modern. But this place offers a lot of homes that I consider to be a modern style while still maintaining that Oregonian, Washingtonian style. You know, the way it's designed. So, all right, everybody, I can't wait to see you in the next video. I'm super excited to walk around and show you even more. Take care, everyone.